KCL. Right? So let's do some simple questions regarding electric cell. Thank you. In question number 1, we have an electric cell which is connected with external resistor. टिप खराब है इसका, सही नहीं चल रहा. Electric cell with its internal resistance small r. Let's say this is 2 ohm, this is 0.5 ohm, and this is 100 volt. Now the question is, what will be terminal potential in the circuit? So terminal potential is a potential which is obtained at the end points of the external circuit or external resistor. So we have to find out potential for 2 ohm resistor. EMF of the cell E is given to us 100 volt. Internal resistance is 0.5 ohm and external resistor R is 2 ohm. We have to find out the value of E. Now, this EMF E will be distributed in energy at external resistor R plus energy at internal resistance small r. So E is equals to V plus IR. And if you want to have V, it will be E minus I into R. So to solve it, we have the information about E and R, but we do not know I. So first of all, we will find out I. I is the current in the circuit. Because the circuit is in series combination, current in the circuit will be throughout same. So current I will be same throughout the circuit. And in series combination, overall potential is 100 volt, 100 volt, and overall resistance is how much? 2 plus 0.5 because it is in series. So R will be 2.5. Now using Ohm's law, E is equals to IR. We can find out I, that is E by R. Value of E is 100. Value of R is 2.5. So this will be how much? This will be how much? 40. Now we can find out V. V is equals to E. E is how much? 100 minus I is 40. R is 0.5. So this will be 100 minus 14 to 0.5 will be how much? 20. So terminal potential will be. So in this question, EMF of the cell is 100 volts, and out of that 100 volt, 80 volt is utilized for 2 ohm resistor, and remaining 20 ohm is utilized by internal resistance of the battery or cell. That is by 0.5 ohm. Understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Next
Yes, sir.
question is, find E in the given circuit. Let's say this is 10 ohm and this is electric cell with internal resistance, let's say 1 ohm. If the current in the circuit is 10 ampere, find the value of E. So in this question, external resistance is 10 ohm, internal resistance is 1 ohm, Current I in the circuit is 10 ampere. What will be terminal potential in this case? So terminal potential V is the potential which is at 10 ohm resistor. Since the complete circuit is in series combination, so we can apply V equals to IR. I will be same for the all component of the circuit because it is in series. So V is equals to I is 10 ampere, R is 10 ohm, V will be 100 volt. So terminal potential is 100 volt. Now we are interested in potential for 1 ohm resistor. Potential for 1 ohm resistor will be V equals to IR again. I in the circuit is 10 and the value of R, let me write it in by small r. So this will be 1, that is 10 volt. EMF of the cell is given by terminal potential plus IR is equals to terminal potential is 100 volt plus IR is 10 volt. So EMF of the circuit or EMF of the cell will be 110 volt. Understood? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
Next question. If there is a junction point and at this junction point we have 2 ampere current, 3 ampere current and 5 ampere current coming towards the junction point, and 6 ampere current is going away from the junction point. What will be the value of current I? So which law is it? Yes, we have to find out the value of I. This is
KCL,
Kirchhoff's law, but what is the name for this law?
current law,
Junction rule.
junction law.
जितना करंट आएगा उतना
उतना ही जाएगा. Yes. Junction rule, and junction rule states that incoming current is same as going current or outgoing. So total amount of current which is coming towards the junction point is 2 ampere plus 3 ampere plus 5 ampere is equals to current which is going away 6 ampere plus current I. So this will be how much? 5 plus 5, 10 is equals to 6 plus I. So current I will be 10 minus 6, that is 4 ampere. Are you getting it?
Yes,
One
sir.
last question.
Yes, sir.
If we have a resistor in such a way, let's say this is 1 ohm, this is also 1 ohm, this is also 1 ohm. Yeah. This is also 1 ohm. And let's say here potential is 5 volt, here potential is 3 volt. You have to find out current in the circuit, I. So how will you solve it? This question will be solved using Kirchhoff's law again, but second one was voltage rule और Kirchhoff circuital law और voltage law. मालूम आपको कैसे सोल्व करते हैं? In such type of question, we will take 2 different loop or 3 loop or as much loop as are possible in a given question. So let's say this is loop 1 and this is loop 2. This is loop 1, this is loop 2, and loop has to be in the same shape as the given circuit. Let's say some amount of current comes from 5 volt battery. Let's say this is I, this will be I, and some of the current come from here. Let's say this one is I1 So this will be I1. At this junction point, I current come from here, I1 here. So this will get I plus I1. At this junction point, we will have I plus I1, and according to KCL first, current I will go in this branch and current I1 will go in this branch. Understood? Now, second step is we will take the conventional direction of current in the loop. And this may be any direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise, it doesn't matter. So let's say this is my conventional direction of current. This is my conventional direction of current. Now using KCL 2, I have to simplify the question and I will find out the value of I and I1. Now, what are the sign conventions for KVL? Sign conventions are, if there is a resistor and current in the resistor is in same direction as conventional current has. So this will be minus IR. And if it is in opposite direction, then this will be plus IR. Now about battery. This is battery. The direction of EMF is taken from negative to positive terminal. If conventional direction is also negative to positive, it will be plus E. And if it is in opposite direction, it will be minus. This is the sign convention which will be used for KVL. So let's say we are talking about loop 1. In loop 1, we have current in the resistor and conventional direction of current in same direction. They both are going in the same direction. So in that case, I will have minus 1 into I. So this will be minus IR. So according to minus IR, this will be minus I because value. Then we have this resistor. Direction of current in circuit is I plus I1, downward, and conventional direction is also downward. So again, they are both in same direction. So this will be again minus of I into R, that is minus I minus I1. Then we have, there is no resistor in this branch, and then we have this one. Negative to positive, and conventional direction is also in the same direction. So this will be plus 5 volt is equals to 0. Which means I can write it as minus 2I minus I1 is equals to minus 5, which gives 2I plus I1 is equals to 5. This is first equation. Understood? Now we will work on loop 2 using the same convention. So in loop 2, I have resistor 1 ohm and the direction of current I1 and conventional direction is in opposite sense. So this will be plus I1. This will be plus I1 into R, value of R is 1. And about this resistor 1 ohm, again, direction in circuit is downward and conventional direction is upward. Again, they are opposite. Again, it will be plus. So this will be plus I plus I1. Now, if you will go for the potential, so this will be in upward direction, conventional direction is downward. So it will be minus 3 is equals to 0. So this will be I plus 2I1 is equals to 3, equation number 2. Now you have to solve these two equations. 2I plus I1 is equals to 5. Multiply second equation with 2. This will be 2I plus 4I1 is equals to 6. Subtract. This will cancel out. I1 minus 4I1 minus 3I1 is equals to 5 minus 6 minus 1. So current I1 will be 1 by 3. If we know the value of I1, we can find out I2. Twice of I plus I1 is equals to 5. So twice of current I will be 5 minus 1 by 3, which is 5 into 3, 15 minus 1, 14 by 3. And 2I is 14 by 3 implies that I will be how much? 7 by 3 ampere. Understood or any doubt?
Sir,
Yes?
I have doubt.
Yes, what is the doubt?
Sir, loop 1 and loop 2. This equation, in this equation,
Okay.
I don't understand how to write.
First of all, you have to understand what is the convention for KVL. So you have to remember that if direction in the resistor of current and conventional direction of current which I have taken for the loop is in the same direction, value will be minus IR, and if they are in opposite, it will be plus IR. About voltage, the normal direction for voltage or EMF is given from negative terminal to positive terminal. If conventional direction in loop is in the same direction as we have EMF, it will be plus E. And if it is in opposite direction, then we will have minus E. Now we will apply these two rules in loop 1. So here we have loop 1. In loop 1, direction of current, conventional direction is clockwise. Yes? Conventional direction in loop 1 of current is clockwise. So if you will
Yes, sir.
take 1 ampere resistor, the direction of current in 1 ampere resistor is this one, left to right. And if you will look in loop, this is again left to right, which means direction of current is in same direction. The current is flowing in same direction in resistor and loop. So we will have minus IR. The value of current is I. The value of resistor is 1 ohm. So I into R will be I and sign will be minus because they are in same direction. So this will be minus I. Similarly, we will look for this resistor. In this resistor, current is in downward direction, and in loop, current is also in downward direction. Again, direction is same. So this will be with minus sign I into R. Value of R is 1 and value of current is I plus I1 with minus sign. So it will be minus I minus I1. Now, in loop 1, we are left with only EMF. This is negative terminal, this is positive terminal. Smaller one is always negative, bigger one is always positive. So there will be a smaller one, there will be a greater one, bigger one. So this will be negative, this will be positive always. And the direction of EM is negative to positive. And direction of conventional current in loop is again upward. Direction of EMF is again upward. So both of them are in same direction. So this will be with plus sign. If they are in same direction, this will be with plus sign. So plus 5 equals to 0. Net potential 0. And this will give us equation 2I plus I1 equals to 5. Similarly, we will do for loop number 2. Understood or any doubt?
How we know the conventional direction?
Conventional direction is free of choice. You can take any direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise, it doesn't matter. Answer will be same in both the cases. But you have to be careful when you are applying the sign convention. Means you have to be careful if you are going in the same direction in loop as we are going with current, you have to take minus R, you cannot take plus IR. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir. Sir, 5 and 3 in
Yes.
the equation. Sir, 5 and 3 from where in equation?
5 is EMF of the cell. 5 is EMF of the cell. What was the second law? Second law was net change in a loop in a closed circuit is 0. So what we are doing here when we are writing it in this way, remember that V is equals to IR. So if I write IR, this is nothing but potential. So what we are doing is that we are calculating change in potential here plus change in potential here plus change in potential here. And this overall change is equals to 0. That's why we are using change in potential in one resistor, change in potential in second resistor, change in potential for electric cell, and overall change is equals to 0. Understood?
Yes, sir, understood.
Okay, now we will discuss a new chapter. This is unit and dimension. And along with unit and dimension, I will discuss kinematics, which is motion in 1D. In this chapter, you just have to remember this table. This is a table given by SI system of units. In this table, we have total 7 fundamental units. For these 7 fundamental units, we have their SI unit, symbolical representation for their SI unit, and their dimension. So these are base quantity, fundamental quantity, SI unit for them, symbolical representation, and their dimension. In physics, physical quantity is a quantity which can be measured directly or indirectly. And physical quantity can be classified into 2 categories: base quantity, fundamental quantity, and another one is derived quantity. Base quantity or fundamental quantities are the quantities which are independent of any other quantity. They need no one. They can be explained by themselves. They have their own definitions and conditions. On the other hand, we have derived units or derived quantities. These are the quantities which depends on fundamental quantities. So in overall physics, we have only 7 fundamental quantities. And all the physical quantities in physics can be made by using these 7 fundamental quantities. First one is length, whose SI unit is meter. Symbolical representation is m, dimension is L. Second is mass. Unit for mass in SI system is kilogram. Symbolical representation kg. Dimension is m. Then we have time. SI unit for time is second. Symbolical representation is s. Dimension is t. Then we have thermodynamic temperature. Thermodynamic temperature unit is Kelvin. Symbolical representation is K. Dimension cannot be given as T, because capital T is already used for time. So if I will give temperature also its dimension as T, then the problem will be, if there will be a T in the question, I will be confused whether this T is working for time or this T is working for temperature. So for temperature, we have to give some another dimension to it. So we either give it K or we give it theta. In some book, theta is also given. Then we have electric current. Electric current. Unit for electric current is ampere. And its symbolical representation is A. Its dimension is also A. Then we have amount of substance which is measured in moles. Symbolical representation is MOL. E will be removed and dimension is mole, MOL. Last, seventh is luminous intensity with unit candela, presented by CD. Dimension is also CD. So in unit and dimension, you just have to remember these 7 fundamental quantities and their units. Units for fundamental or base quantity are known as fundamental units, fundamental quantity. Now we will try to find out dimensional formula for certain quantities. For example, what will be the dimensional formula for G? Dimensional formula for capital G, universal gravitation constant capital G. So we can use Newton's universal law of gravitation, which states that force F is G times m1 m2 by r square. So from here G will be F r square divided by m1 and m2. To know the dimension of G, I have to find out the dimension of all the quantities included in the expression for G. So there are mass m1, mass m2 and distance. So dimension for mass is m, dimension for distance is L, but we have to find out dimension for force. Force F is mass times acceleration, and acceleration is velocity upon time, and velocity is displacement upon time. So what will be the dimension for displacement? Displacement is shortest possible distance. So dimension will be L, and for time we have T. Dimension for V will be LT minus 1. Now in acceleration we have V by T. Dimension for V is LT minus 1. For time is T. So A will have dimension LT minus 2. Mass has dimension M. A has dimension LT minus 2, which means force will have dimension MLT minus 2. Now we can find out the dimension for capital G. Dimension for F is MLT minus 2. Dimension for R, which is which is distance, and this will be L square. Dimension for mass M1 is M. Dimension for mass M2 is also M. M factor will cancel out. So dimension of G will be M minus 1, L3, T minus 2. Understood or any doubt? Yes?
Understood, sir.
Okay. Tell
Understood,
me
sir.
what will be the dimension of wavelength? Wavelength is lambda. You have to find out its dimension. What will be its dimension?
L, sir.
L. Because wavelength is a distance. In fact, length is in its name. So dimension will be L. What is the dimension for time period?
T, sir.
It will be T. What will be dimension for frequency? Frequency F is 1
T
by
inverse.
T. It will be T
T
inverse.
inverse.
Then we have angular velocity omega, which is theta by T. What will be the dimension of theta? Anyone? Dimension of theta? Dimension of theta? Theta is angle. Could anyone tell me dimension of angle? No one. What is angle? Angle is arc length by radius. Arc length is a length. Radius is also a length. So there will be no dimension for
Sir,
angle
radian.
theta. Theta is dimensionless. So we will upon T. So omega will have dimensional formula T inverse. And remember all trigonometric functions, sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, cot theta, and sec theta, cosec theta, all of these are dimensionless. Dimensionless. Constant values like numbers 1, 2, 3, 22 by 7, 3.14, pi, e. These are also dimensionless. Understood or any doubt? Yes.
Understood, sir.
Next point, dimensional formula for work done, dimensional formula for potential energy, dimensional formula for kinetic energy, dimensional formula for torque. All of them have same dimensional formula, which is ml2t minus 2. Next, find the dimensional formula for Planck constant. Planck's constant. So give me a relation which will connect Planck's constant with physical quantity. So Planck's constant is obtained in Planck quantum theory, which states that energy of a single photon E is equals to h times nu, where h is Planck's constant and nu is its frequency. So what is the dimension of energy? Energy has dimension ml2t minus 2. Dimension of h has to be calculated. What is the dimension of frequency? Dimension of frequency is t inverse. Dimension of frequency is t inverse. So one of the t factor will cancel out, and dimension of h will be ml2 will be ml2t minus 1. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Or any doubt? Okay.
No, sir.
What will be the dimension of stress? Stress S is given by force by area, which is same
ml
as
minus 1 t
pressure
minus
P.
2. ml minus 1 t minus 2.
For force we have ml minus 2, mlt minus 2. For area we have L2. Simplify it, this will be ml minus 1 t minus 2. What will be the dimension for strain? Anyone know the formula for strain?
Sir, dimensionless.
Formula for strain?
Force by area.
Sir, length
No.
length upon
Formula for
dial.
strain is change
Change
in
in length
dimension,
divided by original length.
original dimension or original length. And if in ratio are the same quantities, it will be dimensionless. M0, L0, T0. Understood?
Yes, sir.
That's it. Last one. What will be the dimension of universal gas constant? Universal gas constant given by R. So we know ideal gas equation PV is equals to NIT. I am interested in R. So this will be PV upon NT, where P is pressure, V is volume, N is number of moles, T is temperature. What will be the dimension for R? P is pressure. For pressure, we have dimension ml minus 1 T minus 2, ml minus 1 T minus 2. V is volume. For volume, we have L cube divided by n, number of moles. Dimension for moles is mole, mol without e, and T is temperature will have dimension Kelvin K. So if you will rearrange it, this will look like m L2T minus 2 mole inverse Kelvin inverse. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Could anyone tell me the dimension of electric potential? Yes, anyone? Dimension for electric potential V. V is given by W by Q. dimension of work done is ml2t minus 2. What is the dimension for charge q? Since I is equals to q by t, q can be taken as I times t. So dimension of q will be dimension of current, that is a dimension of time, that is t. Dimension of q will be a t. So if you will take a t here, dimension of potential V will be M L2 T minus 3 A minus 1. Understood? Okay. और कुछ बचा क्या? Resistance is also a good one. What is the dimension for resistance? R. Now you can go by Ohm's law. V is equals to IR and R will be V divided by I. Dimension for V is ML2 T minus 3A minus 1. ML2 T minus 3A minus 1 divided by current I will have dimension A. So R will be ML2 T minus 3 A minus 2. Understood?
Yes.
Now we will discuss a topic from chemistry. In chemistry, we have completed periodic table. Branching periodic table. Next concept is chemical bonding. Chemical bonding. First of all, what is a chemical bond? Yes, anyone? What is chemical bond? Chemical bond? Anyone? Chemical bond. What is chemical bond? Define chemical bond. Transfer of electron is called chemical. Transfer of electron in particular direction is also called electric current. Chemical bond. लड़कियों में कोई बताएगा? No one. Very poor condition. एक ही लड़का मेहनत करता है बस, मैं। बाकी तुम नालायक लोग बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ते. Chemical bond is a type of chemical force which combine atoms in a molecule and molecules in a compound, right? So chemical bond is a chemical force. This force try to bind the atoms to form molecule and it will combine molecules to form compound. Chemical bond are of three types, or mainly chemical bond are of two types. First one is ionic bond. Second one is covalent bond. And there is a special type of covalent bond which is known as coordinate bond. A special type of covalent bond which is known as coordinate bond. Apart from these bonds, we also have certain special type of bonds. First one is ionic. Second one, covalent. Third one, coordinate. Fourth one, metallic bonding. Fifth one, yes. Fifth one, hydrogen bonding. And finally, we have van der Waals forces. But mainly, we are going to discuss these three bonds: ionic, covalent, and coordinate. What is the condition for ionic bond formation? Ionic bond is formed when 100% electrons are transferred from one atom to another atom. And this is possible if and only if one of the atom is metallic in nature and another one is non-metallic in nature. In fact, highly metallic and highly non-metallic. In other words, it is also stated as ionic bond will be formed between the elements with greater electronegativity difference. So electronegativity difference, that is delta chi, has to be greater in value. Understood? Let's say we have NaCl. In NaCl, we have Lewis dot structure of sodium with one dot, and chlorine has 7 valence electrons. So chlorine will have 7 dots: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. To complete the octet, sodium will lose its one electron and it will give it to the chlorine atom. Ionic bond will always be represented by a curve arrow. Remember this point. Ionic bond is represented by a curved arrow. And electron will be given by one atom to another atom. The atom which will lose its electron will form a positive ion. The atom which will get the electrons will form a negative ion. These positive and negative ions interact with each other by electrostatic force, and that electrostatic force is known as ionic bond. Understood? For example, we have to form KCl. So in KCl, K has single electron, Cl has 7 electrons. Again, one electron will be given to Cl. So this will be K plus Cl minus. What about CaCl2? Calcium Ca has 2 electrons. Cl has 7 electrons in valence shell, and these 7 electrons are represented by 7 dots. When we represent an atom with its outermost electrons with the help of dot, this is known as Lewis dot formula or Lewis dot structure. So Lewis dot formula for calcium is calcium atom with 2 dots, and Lewis dot arrangement for chlorine is chlorine atom with 7 dots. 7 dots represent what? 7 dots represents that chlorine atom has 7 electrons in its outermost. So one of the electron will be given to this Cl atom and another one to this. ये माइक ऑन मत कर. This will be Ca plus plus with 2 Cl minus ion. क्या नाम है? ठीक है, ठीक है. कौन? राहुल है? राहुल है इधर कोई? राहुल सचिन? नहीं है, नहीं है, नहीं है, नहीं. ये सुबह तो आया था एक बंदा, देखा था मैंने, बट यार ठीक है। नए नीट वाले बच्चे तुम हो क्या? नीचे बुलाया तुम। दिस विल बी वोट Ca plus plus and Cl minus Cl minus. Now the important point about ionic bond is that ionic bond is non-directional in nature. Ionic bond is non-directional in nature, and all the compounds with ionic bond are known as ionic compounds. So what are ionic compounds? Ionic compounds are the chemical compounds which contains ionic bonds between the constituent atoms or ions. Understood? Because ionic bond is a strong type of force, it is electrostatic in nature, and due to its strength, ionic compounds are hard, exist in solid state, and are brittle in nature. In solid state, ionic compound cannot conduct electricity because in solid state, constituent ions are held together by a strong electrostatic force, which we are calling in this chapter as ionic bond. But if you will melt the ionic compound or you will mix it with water, you will take the ionic compound in aqueous phase, then ions will be free to move. And in that case, electricity can be conducted by the constituent ions in ionic compound. So ionic compounds in solid do not conduct electricity. But ionic compounds in aqueous phase as well as in molten form will conduct electricity. The reason is free ions. Next point, ionic compounds are brittle in nature. They are hard and solid. Again, due to the good intermolecular attraction, that is electrostatic, their melting point and boiling point are also high. Understood? Next, we can discuss about covalent compound and covalent bonding. Covalent compound and covalent bonding. First of all, what is the condition for covalent bonding? In covalent bonding, electrons are not 100% transferred. So there will be no transfer of electrons in this process. Second, covalent bonds are formed by sharing of electrons. In ideal condition or ideal situation, we state that there will be 50% sharing, which means one atom will give half electrons and one atom will give half number of electrons which are required. Third point is covalent bonding is formed between non-metal atoms mostly. So this will be in between non-metals and non-metals. In some special cases, it may also form between metals and non-metals, but that is not the interest here. So it will be mainly between non-metals and non-metals. Another interesting difference between covalent bond and ionic bond is that if ionic bond is broken due to some case or in some chemical reaction, the electron which is gone will always be gone. It will never be back. But in case of covalent bond, this is not the fact. In covalent bond, if the bond is broken, shared electron will be taken back by the atoms which were sharing them. So if atom A give 2 electron, atom B also give 2 electron and they form covalent bond. And in any chemical reaction, this covalent bond is broken. 2 electrons of atom A will be gone to atom A and remaining 2 electrons will be gone to atom B. So this is the condition in which ionic bond and covalent bond will be broken in a chemical reaction. It implies that if there is an ionic bond, there will always be ions, positive and negative, right? If NaCl exists, it will be Na plus and Cl minus, whether it is going to form, whether it is in its original form NaCl or it is going to react with someone. It is never going to be sodium atom Na. It will always be what? Na plus. Okay, next point about covalent bond is that all the compounds or the compounds which contain covalent bond between the constituent particles are known as covalent compound. And covalent compound will have opposite properties as that of ionic compounds, which means ionic compounds are solid, hard, and brittle. Covalent compounds may be or may not be in solid phase. Some covalent compounds are found in solid phase, some in liquid phase, and some in gaseous phase also. For example, HCl. HCl is H bond Cl. HCl is H bond Cl. So it is a covalent compound. And HCl can exist in solid, liquid, and gaseous, all the three states. In natural form, it exists in gaseous. And if you will look for, let's say alcohol, ROH, ROH, alcohol is again covalent compound, and alcohol exists in liquid state. Understood? There are some compounds which exist in solid state also and which are covalent. For example, diamond. Diamond is covalent bonded and it exists in solid phase. Understood? Understood? So covalent compounds may be in solid, liquid, gaseous phase, but most of the ionic compounds exist in solid phase. Right? Melting point of ionic compounds are way greater than melting point of covalent compound. There are some exceptions also. For example, diamond. Again, diamond is exception in this. Diamond has a higher value of melting point and boiling point. Understood or any doubt? Yes, understood or any doubt? Okay. What will be the chemical bonding in CH4? Carbon C with 4 valence electron will be in center, and there will be 4 hydrogen with 1 dot, which implies that hydrogen has 1 electron in outermost shell, and there will be covalent bonding between carbon and carbon can form maximum 4 bonds. So one hydrogen will form a single bond with carbon. So this will be CH4. What will be the bonding for C2H6? C2H6. So C2H6 will be like this: carbon, carbon, and it is C2H6 नहीं, ये होगा C2H4. So this has H, H and H. Hydrogen can form only one bond. So one bond for hydrogen will be formed by the carbon atom. Carbon can form maximum 4 bonds. 2 bonds are already formed. So we are left with only 2 bonds. And these 2 bonds will be formed between 2 carbon atoms. So this will be carbon double bond carbon with single bond hydrogen. That's what all the bonding of carbon is completed and hydrogen is also completed. Remember that hydrogen does not have its complete octet. It has duplet, while other atoms have octet. Remember this. Octet is for other atoms other than hydrogen. Hydrogen will work as duplet. Duplet is in helium. So hydrogen after chemical bonding become like helium, and other atoms after chemical bonding will behave as neon, which has 8 outermost electron in its valence shell. Understood? Understood or any doubt? Online students?
हैंडबुक में ये कैसे सर कौन सी वाली हैंडबुक है अरे कहाँ है मन मन कौन सी वाली
अरिहंत,
मैथ वाली है
अरिहंत, हाँ, अरिहंत का ही है. अच्छा. What will be the chemical bonding in C2H2? This will be carbon double bond carbon, hydrogen and hydrogen. Hydrogen and hydrogen. Bonding in CO2. This will be carbon double bond, carbon double bond, carbon. Yes, there will be triple bond. Ammonia NH3 is given by an H bond, H bond, H. SO2 is also a good example. S double bond O, arrow bond O, or in some book we write it as double bond O, double bond O. Let's discuss coordinate bond here. So coordinate bond is a special type of covalent bond in which one atom has complete octet and another atom has incomplete octet B. So atom B required some electrons, and these electrons will be provided by the atom whose octet is completed. So in this type of bonding, the atom which has complete octet will give its electron in pairs. Remember, in coordinate bond, electrons are not given in a single way, or single electron is not given. If they are forming coordinate bond, 2 electrons or 4 electrons will be given, which means in coordinate bond, electrons will be given in pairs, not single electron will be given. So 2 electrons will be given to the atom B with a bond represented by straight arrow. In ionic bond, we have curve arrow. In ionic bond, we have curved arrow, and in coordinate bond, we have straight arrow. For example, SO2 is a good example. S has total 6 electrons in its outermost shell. Oxygen also has 6 electrons in its outermost shell. And to complete the octet, sulfur will form 2 bonds with oxygen. By these 2 bonds, octet of this oxygen atom and octet of sulfur atom will be completed. But this oxygen has incomplete octet and sulfur has complete octet. So sulfur will give 2 of its electron by arrow bond to complete the octet of remaining oxygen atom, and hence we will have the structure of SO2 as S double bond O, arrow bond O. Same is true in case of ozone. Ozone O3 is also given as O, double bond O. This is ozone. Understood? Or any doubt?
Yes. Yes, understood.
Okay. Next point is types of covalent bond. Types of covalent bond on the basis of dipole moment. On the basis of dipole moment. If we have a positive charge plus Q and at certain distance D, there is another charge of same magnitude but with opposite sign, then this arrangement is known as dipole. And for a dipole, we define dipole moment. Dipole moment is given by charge multiply separation between them, that is distance. And dipole moment is a vector quantity. So there will be a direction for dipole moment. And its direction is given negative to positive in physics. And its direction will be positive to negative in chemistry. Yes? Negative to positive in physics and positive to negative in chemistry. Now the interesting point is dipole moment will be formed if and only if we have charges of same magnitude and of opposite sign. So in case of atoms and molecules, if I have, let's say, HCl molecule, H Cl. In H Cl, we have two atoms, hydrogen atom and chlorine atom. We know that electronegativity of chlorine is greater than electronegativity of hydrogen. Due to high electronegativity, bonded electrons will be shifted towards chlorine atom, due to which this bond will be somewhat polarized. And chlorine atom will have del minus, hydrogen will have del. Due to the partial positive and negative charge, there will be a dipole in HCl molecule. And the direction of dipole will be in chemistry positive to negative. The direction will be H2Cl. So such type of bond in which two atoms with different electronegativity are present, these type of bonds will be polarized due to electron shifting, due to partial positive and negative charge. These type of bonds are known as polar covalent bond. So the bonding between H and Cl is polar covalent bond. A molecule in which we have polar covalent bond can be known as polar molecule. Polar molecule basically is a molecule in which net dipole moment is not zero. If net dipole moment is zero, it will be non-polar. If net dipole moment is not zero, it will be polar molecule. Understood? So HCl has polar covalent bond and its net dipole moment is not going to be zero because this is the only dipole present in the molecule. So this is also an example of polar molecule. Understood? Now let's take another example, which is let's say oxygen molecule, O double bond O. In this case, electronegativity difference between both the atoms is zero, because both the atoms are same. Electronegativity for both the hydrogen is, sorry, for both the oxygen is same. Due to which there is no electronegativity difference, which implies that there will be no shifting of electrons. And bonded electron will be exactly in between both the oxygen atoms. So there will be no positive and negative charge. There will be no dipole. Since there is no dipole, so these type of these type these type of covalent bonds are known as non-polar covalent bond. So non-polar covalent bond is a covalent bond in which there is no partial positive or negative charge. There is no polarization of the bond. Understood? And the molecule in which net dipole moment is zero is known as non-polar molecule. So oxygen molecule is an example of non-polar molecule. And HCl is a molecule with polar nature. Is it possible that is it possible that a molecule can have polar covalent bond, but its behavior is non-polar? Is it possible? Yes. How is it possible? If you will look at CO2 molecule, in CO2 molecule, its geometry is linear. C double bond O, C double bond O. Electronegativity of oxygen is greater than electronegativity of carbon. So electrons will be shifted towards oxygen. And in CO2, bonds will be polarized. Carbon will have del plus, oxygen will have del minus. Yes. And there will be two dipole moments present in this molecule. One will be from carbon to right hand side oxygen, positive to negative. Another one will be carbon to left hand side oxygen, positive to negative. Both of them will have same value of dipole moment. Why is it so? Because in both the dipole, same amount of charge is present. If right-handed oxygen has -2 coulomb, same will be for left-handed oxygen. And carbon is common in both of the oxygen atoms. So net dipole moment, if you will look in this case, one of the dipole is in right hand side, one of the dipole is in left hand side with same value, same magnitude, 180 degrees. So net dipole will be 0. So CO2 is an example in which covalent bonds are polar in nature, but molecule is non-polar, which means a non-polar molecule can also have polar covalent bonds, or it can also have non-polar. अगर non-polar है तब तो है ही नहीं मसला, but अगर covalent bond polar है, then we have to be careful. We have to check about the geometry of the molecule. One more example is ammonia, or let me give some more easy example. H2O is a good example. H2O is bent in geometry with angle 104.5 degree. So if you will look here, electronegativity of oxygen is greater than hydrogen. Yes, and electron will be shifted towards oxygen. So there will be a dipole in this direction, positive to negative. Another dipole will be in this direction, positive to negative, and there will be certain angle theta. So in this case, we have two dipole, one in this direction, one in this direction with certain angle theta. Let's say this is mu1, this is mu2. So it will have certain net dipole moment mu9, which can be given by root of mu1 square plus mu2 square plus 2 mu1 mu2 cos theta. Understood? So H2O is an example in which covalent bonds are polar in nature and molecule is also polar in nature. On the other hand, CO2 is an example in which covalent bonds are polar in nature but molecule is non-polar. Understood? Understood or any doubt? Okay, next concept is we will try to understand the theories given to explain a chemical bond between the atoms. How many theories are there to explain the chemical bonding? Theories to explain chemical bonding. Yes, there are lots of theories. First one, the basic theory, simplest possible theory which is given to explain a chemical bond is Lewis-Cossel theory or Lewis-Cossel approach, which is also known as octet rule. Second one is VSEPR theory. VSEPR theory is valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Third one is VBT, valence bond theory. Fourth one is MOT, molecular theory. Then we have one more theory, CFT, crystal field theory, which is not in the course. So you just have to study these four theories, sorry. In this first one is Lewis or octet rule. which states that any atom to gain stability try to complete its octet, which means any atom in nature will try to complete 8 electron in its outermost shell. And this is because it is observed that noble gases are stable and they do not react with any other element. And if you will look at the electronic configuration of the noble gases, you will observe that they all have 8 electrons in their valence shell except helium. Except helium. Helium has 2 electrons. Next other has 8 electrons. So based on this analogy, it is stated that if any atom has 8 electrons in its outermost shell, it will be stable and it will not form any chemical bond with any other atom or element. So any atom which does not have 8 electrons will try to have 8 electrons to complete its octet so that it can become stable, right? So main reason for chemical bonding is stability factor. Everything in universe want to be stable. Same is true for atoms. Atoms also wants to be stable, and to gain stability they will form bond to complete their octet. And to form a bond they have certain ways. Either they will donate the electrons 100%, and if it is not possible for them they will try to share the electron. Next theory is VSEPR theory. In VSEPR theory, electrons of any atom is classified in two categories. So at electrons of any atom, electrons of any atom in VSEPR theory हो गया Am I audible? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So in VSEPR theory, we have two types of electrons. One is bond pairs, another one is lone pairs. Lone pairs are the electrons which are not used to form a chemical bond. These electrons are totally of the atom. And if atom wants, they can donate or share these electrons with any other atom. Second point in CPR theory is that any molecule in nature will attain that possible geometry or structure in which it will be most stable, which implies that in covalent compounds, covalent bond cannot be formed in any random direction. For different compounds, covalent bond has to be in a specific direction, which implies that covalent bond are directional in nature. Covalent bonds have certain direction. For example, hello, yes, ma'am. Yes, okay, ठीक. बायो वाले बच्चे नीचे चले जाएंगे. Covalent bond is directional in nature, and the covalent bond will be formed in such a way that repulsion between electron pairs is minimum. If repulsion will be minimum, system will be stable. So to gain stability, electronic repulsion has to be minimum, and for that electron pairs will arrange themselves in 3D space in a specific geometry. Let's say H2O. H2O is H bond O bond H with two lone pairs, right? So if we will look at the structure of H2O, in this case I am giving it as a straight, but the correct structure of oxygen is, due to these lone pairs, there will be repulsion between lone pairs and bond pairs. And due to these repulsion, the bond pairs will be somewhat tilted, and the geometry of H2 will be somewhat like this with angle 104.5, which implies that H2 cannot exist in linear form, or H2 cannot exist in 120-degree angle, which means if there is H2O molecule, it has to be at 104.5 degree, which implies that covalent bonds are directional in nature. Covalent bond cannot take any position in 3D space. It will take a specific geometry, a specific space in the 3D region. That is why all the covalent compounds have their certain unique geometry. For example, if you are looking for CO2, so CO2 in geometry form linear bond. CO2 is linear in geometry. H2O is not linear. H2O is bent. Similarly, SO2. SO2 is also bent because SO2 also has lone pair. So remember, repulsion order between the electron pairs. Repulsion order. Repulsion is maximum in lone pair, then bond pair, and then least in bond pair. Understood? मैथ्स निकाल लेंगे. What was the last topic in maths? In maths, we were discussing functions. And I have told you A definition for functions, domain, codomain, and range, arrow diagram for a function, and then types of functions, one, many, one, on, two, into. Now the question will be in two categories. One of the question will be about domain and range of a given function, and second type of question will be about the nature of function, whether it is one, many, one, into, on, two, or whatever type of function is. So first of all, we will try to understand the concept of domain and range using some simple functions, and then we will go for one, on, two, and many, one, into. Today's topic is some standard functions. First one, or the simplest possible function, is constant function, which is f of x equals to some constant k. If you will plot its graph, this is x-axis, this is y-axis. F of x is equals to k means y is equals to f of x equals to k. So graph will be y equals to k. Y equals to k graph is a line parallel to x-axis. So this is y equals to k. Graph may be above x-axis or below x-axis depending on the sign of k. If k is positive, graph will be above x-axis, and if k is negative, graph will be below x-axis. From the graph, and range of the given function, constant function. So if you will look at the graph can extend in to infinity in both the direction, positive direction of x-axis and negative direction of x-axis, which implies that the domain will be all possible real numbers, which means minus infinity to plus infinity. And if you will look at its range, according to the behavior of function, it is a constant function, which implies that whatever be the input, output will be the same value, right? Let's say I have a constant value f of x equals to 2. So if I will input 1, answer will be 2. If I write f of 2, answer will be 2. If I write f of 3, answer will be 2. If I write f of minus 2, again it will be 2. So output is only one element, that is constant value. So its range will be a singleton set with constant value k. Now the question is, find domain and range. Find domain and range. First one, f of x is equals to 5. Second one, f of x is equals to minus 6. So what will be the domain? F of x equals to 5 is a function, which is a constant function. What will be its domain? Yes? Anyone? F of x equals to 5 is equals to y. If you will plot the graph will be something like this. Y is equals to 5 unit, y at 5 unit, and in this case domain will be all possible real numbers. What will be its range? Range will be singletons at 5. Could I define its codomain? No. If criteria of the function is not given to you, you cannot tell the codomain. Codomain will be complete set B. If we have a function defined from set A to set B, in that case, B set will be complete codomain. But in the given question, it is not mentioned what is set B. So I could not justify about its codomain. Maybe whatever it is. But we can give clearly statements about domain and range. Next is y equals to f of x equals to minus 6. What will be its graph? X-axis, y-axis. Graph will be y equals to minus 6. So graph will go something like this. Let's say this point is minus 6, y equals to minus 6. So if you will look, you can input any value. So domain will be R and its range will be a singleton set that is minus 6. Understood or any doubt? This was the first function that is constant. Now we have second function which is identity function. Identity function is given by y equals to f of x equals to x. If we will plot its graph will be like this. Y equals to x. Y equals to x or f of x equals to x implies that whatever be the input, same will be output. If you will give it 0, 0 will be the answer. If you will give it 1, 1 will be the answer. If you will give it minus 5, minus 5 will be the answer. If you will give it alpha, alpha will be the answer. If you give it alia, alia will be the answer. This is the behavior of identity function. Whatever same will be the output. Now the question is, what will be its domain and range? So if you will look at the graph is extending from minus infinity to plus infinity. And you can take all possible values of x on x-axis in both the directions. Which means its domain will be all real number, that is again minus infinity to plus infinity. And its range, if you will look at y-axis, the graph can go to infinity in y direction. So its range will also be R minus infinity to plus infinity. If this is exactly y equals to x, this angle is fixed 45 degree. And if you will make certain changes in this, there will be certain changes in angle. And what will be the condition for domain and codomain? Sorry, domain and range in that case. Let's say I have a question for you. If we have f of x is equals to 2x, what will be its domain and codomain? In this case, if we will again look at the graph will still pass from 0, 0 because this is y equals to mx type graph. But this will be somewhat tilted towards y-axis. So if this is your y equals to x graph, y equals to 2x graph will pass y equals to 3x. It will again be more tilted towards y-axis. So this graph will go something like this. This is y equals to 2x, this is y equals to 3x. If you will make it half of x, then graph will go away from y-axis. So this time graph will go something like this, y equals to 1 by 2x. Are you getting the condition? Okay. Now we are talking about y equals to 2x or f of x equals to 2x. According to the graph, what will be its domain? Yes. Domain will be anything, any real. What will be its range? This will again be R because graph is extending from minus infinity to plus infinity in y direction. So range will be again R, which simply means if you have any function f of x equals to kx type, f of x equals to kx types any function, we can clearly state that its domain will be what? R, its range will be what? R. So now, next, if I did a slight change in the above function, let's say I write it as 2x plus 3. Now, what will be the domain and range? Yes. If I add 3, is there any problem? No. It will still be the same as it was defined for values of x in the previous case 2x. So domain will be R. What is its range? Range. What will be its range? Okay. Look at it in this way. What is the range for y equals to x? In that case, y was extending minus infinity to plus infinity. Right? If you will do it 2x, still it is minus infinity to plus infinity. In this case, yes. If you will add 3, minus infinity plus 3, 2x plus 3, infinity plus 3, is there any change? It will still be minus infinity to plus infinity. So its range will also be again what? So no, or other in other sense, you can also look at it in a graphical way. If you have any function of the format ax plus b or ax plus by plus c equals to 0. If you have any of these format, the graph will be a straight line. Yes or no? Ax plus b is equals to y is a straight line. Ax plus by plus c equals to 0 is again a straight line. And if it is the straight line, it will extend from minus infinity to plus infinity in y direction. And you can take any values on x-axis. So again, its domain will be what? All real number. Its range will be what? All. Understood? Understood? Let me name this function. Let me name this function now. So now we are going to discuss third function, which is given as linear function. Linear function. Linear function f of x is equals to ax plus b. If you will plot its graph, it will be a straight line. A straight line may be in any direction. And domain will be R. Range will also be R. There is no change in domain and range of the linear function. Understood or any doubt? Yes, understood or any doubt? Okay. Now, from linear, we could go for quadratic. So let's say we have quadratic function. Quadratic function. Quadratic function is a special type of function f of x. Ax square plus bx plus c. And we have to find out domain. So if you will look at any quadratic function, it is polynomial in degree 2. And it is defined at all possible values of x, which means its domain will be R. There is no problem in domain. It can have any input. And it is defined for all the values of x. Now, if you want to discuss about the range, then the range will depend on the behavior of A. If A is greater than, range will be different. If A is less than, range will be different. If A is greater than 0, graph will be parabola upward. And if A is less than 0, graph will be parabola downward. So in this case, the graph will start from a lowest possible value, minimum possible value, and it will go in the positive infinity direction. These points are known as vertex of the parabola. And these vertex are given by minus b by 2a comma minus d by 4a. This is x, this is y. Same will be here. This will be minus d by 2a comma minus d by 4a. So if you are looking for range in this case, the minimum possible value which can be attained is minus d by 4a. Remember, range is given on y-axis and domain is given on x-axis. So we will take y coordinate for range. Range will be minus d by 4a and it will extend to infinity. If you are taking this, in that case, range will be from minus infinity to a maximum possible value. That maximum possible value is minus d by 4. So this is the standard way to find out domain and range of a quadratic function. Domain is always R, there is no problem in domain. And if you want to find out range, you have to take care of A, whether A is positive or negative, and the minimum or maximum value will always exist at vertex point. In case of parabola, in case of quadratic function, minimum and maximum values will always be at vertex point. And that minimum or maximum value is given by minus d upon 4a. What is d here? D is discriminant, which is calculated as b square minus 4s. Let's discuss with some quadratic functions which are standard and easy to solve. First one is x square. What will be its graph like? Its graph will be parabola upward. What is its domain? All real number it can take. What is its range? Because it is squared. And if a variable quantity is squared, it cannot be negative. So x square is never going to be negative. Again, graph is also showing the same behavior. Graph is above x-axis, which indicates that it cannot be negative. So its range will be either 0 or any positive number. It can attain 0 if you will put 0. At input 0, it will be 0. So there will be closed interval at 0. 0 to infinity. Understood? And if I change the same function with plus 2. Now in this case, first of all, what will be the graphical behavior? X square plus 2 means the graph will be shifted 2 points upward. So all the points of graph will be shifted at 2 units upward. For example, if the original graph here, x square, then plus 2 means all the points will be shifted at 2 units. So this will be shifted at 2 units. This point will be shifted at 2 units. This point will be shifted at 2 units and so on. And the graph will go like. So this time graph will start from 2. So its domain is R and its range will be, it is not going to be started from 0 this time. So it will start from 2 and it will go to infinity. Infinity is open, 2 is closed. At what value it will attain 2? At what value it will attain 2? If you will put x equals to 0, it will attain 2. Understood? Which implies that if you have any type of quadratic function in this format, domain will be always R, real number, and range will be the quantity added with x square to the infinity. Now let's say I have f of x equals to minus x square. What will be its range? This time graph is minus x square. So graph will be below x-axis like this, touching 0, 0. In this case, domain of the function will be again R. What will be range of the function? So it will start from minus infinity and it will go to 0. All these values are its range. So minus infinity to 0, minus infinity open, 0 is closed. If I take f of x as minus x square plus 4, what will be its graph like and what will be its domain and range? Now, this is the graph for minus x square. If you will add plus 4, the graph will shift 4 unit upward. The graph will go from here. So this will be point 4, 0,4. So its domain will be the same, that is R, but its range will be changed. It will start from minus infinity and it will increase till it will attain 4. So range will be minus infinity to 4. It can attain 4, so we will have closed interval at 4. Understood? What about this function? F of x is x square minus 3. What will be its range, domain, and graph? If you will plot its graph, this is x square minus 3 will give it here. This will be x square minus 3. This point will be 0, minus 3. From the graph, it is clear that domain will be R. What will be its range? Range will be from minus infinity to from minus 3 to plus infinity. Minus 3 close, infinity is open. Understood or any doubt? Yes? Okay. Let's say another function f of x, which is a polynomial, ax raised to power n plus bx raised to power n minus 1 plus dash dash a0. This is a polynomial function of higher degree. What will be its domain? So any polynomial function is defined for all possible real values of x. Any input can be given to a polynomial function. So its domain will be R. What will be its range? If we have a randomly selected polynomial function, we cannot find out its range. It will depend on the polynomial. Which type of polynomial is it? Is it linear? Is it quadratic? Is it cubic? Which type of is it? That will decide the range of the function. But we are confirm about domain. Domain will be R. There is no doubt in domain. Understood? इतने गधे बच्चे हैं, बात करते रहेंगे, पढ़ाई पे ध्यान नहीं देंगे। देश का भविष्य बर्बाद करने पे तुले हुए हैं। Next one is cubic function. Graph of a cubic function is something like this. This is the graph of cubic function. Y equals to f of x equals to x cube. From the graph, could you tell me the domain? What will be its domain from the graph? Domain. What will be the domain of x cube? Can take any input according to the graph, and it is starting from minus infinity and going to plus infinity ranges also. If I will multiply this cubic function with a value, constant value like 3, 4, 5, does it change the domain and range? Like if I take f of x equals to 3x cube, what will be its domain? R. What will be its range? Again R. If I take f of x equals to minus 5x cube, again domain will be R, range will be R. So the point is, if you are going to multiply some constant value k with x cube, there will be no change in its standard domain and range. Both of them will be R and R. But if you will, let's say if you add some constant value, what will be the change in domain and range? For example, if I add some constant value in x square, there are certain changes in its range. Domain is same, but range is changed. Now the question is, if I add some constant value in x cube, will it change its range? For example, let's say I give you a function which is x cube plus 3. I am interested in its domain and range. So what do you think? How will its graph go? Its graph will be like this. This is 0, this is 3 unit. Graph will start from 3 unit. So the graph will go like this. Are you getting it? So again from the graph, domain is R and there is no change in range. Because it will again start from minus infinity to plus infinity. Whether we add plus 3 or we subtract plus 3, there is no change in its range. Range will still be what? All real number. So, range of x square will be changed on adding constant values, subtracting them. But in case of cubic x cube, there will be no change in domain and range. You multiply some constant or add some constant or subtract some constant. Domain and range will be same. Understood? Understood or any doubt? Understood or any doubt? Okay. Next function is which will be based on the behavior of x square and x cube. In x square, power is even, and in x cube, power is odd. So now we are going to study power functions. Power functions are the functions of the type x raised to power n may be even power or n may be odd power. What will be the domain and range in that case? So let me write here power functions. And I will take two different family in these functions. One is f of x equals to x raised to power 2n. N belongs to natural number, let's say. N belongs to natural number. So this will be an even power. 2 into n is an even number. So this will be even power. Which type of functions will be in this family? If you will take n1, this will be x square or x raised to 4 or x raised to 6, x raised to 8 and so on. All of these functions will have the same base. X square will be somewhat like this. And if you will increase the power x4, the graph will be tilted towards y-axis. So graph will go like this in case of x to power 4. In case of x raised to power 6, it will again go more close to y-axis. In case of 8, again will go more close to y-axis. This is the behavior. And all these members of the family are having same domain. Yes, what is the domain? For all of them, domain is R. And for all of them, range is 0 to infinity. That is positive real value. And it is observable. If you are not going to plot the graph, you can also say that this is even power. So it doesn't matter what is the input, whether it is positive or negative, answer will going to be positive value, except for 0. If you will take 0, answer will be 0. Apart from 0, doesn't matter what number you are going to put in it, positive or negative, answer will be positive. So range will be all positive real number, including 0 also. Now we have another family. In that we have x raised to power 2n plus 1. N belongs to natural number. In this case, all the power will be odd. And the functions will be like x cube, x power 5, x power 7, x power 9 and so on. First of all, what will be the graphical behavior in this case? So for x cube, we have like this. This is x cube. If you are having x5, graph will move towards y-axis, but it still pass through 0, 0. So this will go like this. 7 will go like this. And 9 will be still more close to this. So these are the graphs for 3, 5, 7, 9. And from all these graphs, it is clear that domain will be R and range will be yes R. Now, if I multiply these family members with some constant value k, 1, 2, 3, 4, positive value, does its domain and range change? No. If I multiply it with negative value, its domain will be same, but its range will be changed. Because on multiplying with negative number, graph will flip 180 degree above x-axis. So the graph which is above x-axis will be below x-axis. Like we have x square, then what is minus x square? Minus x square is like this now. So if you will multiply it with constant value, no change in domain and range. If you are going to multiply it with negative value, then there will be no change in domain, but its range will be changed. Its range will be this time minus infinity to 0, including 0. In case of these members, if you will multiply some constant value k, whether it is positive or negative, there will be no change in its domain and understood? Understood? Or any doubt? Do you have any doubt? Online student? Okay, next we have reciprocal function. रेसिप्रोकल फंक्शन भाई आवाज नहीं करनी है वो पीछे बच्चे बैठे बताएंगे रेसिप्रोकल फंक्शन क्या होता है वो देखो आती है सर अब नींद आ गई होगी तुझे गधे एबीसीडी आता नहीं टाइम पास करते रहेंगे तुम जैसे नालायक लोग बहुत मुश्किल से मिलते हैं और मुझे इतनी मुश्किलें पसंद नहीं है किसी को पता है पूरे रेसिप्रोकल फंक्शन फंक्शन पढ़ लिया तुमने हाँ नेगेटिव पावर तुम बताओ 1 by reciprocal function is f of x equals to 1 by x and its graph is like this, which is known as rectangular hyperbola. So from the graph, what will be its domain? It can take any possible value of x except 0. If you will take x equals to 0, it will be 1 by 0, which is not defined. So domain means possible values of x for which function is well defined. In this case, 0 is the value at which function is not going to be well defined. So we will have to remove 0. So domain will be all real number except 0. Domain will be r minus 0. What do you think about the range from the graph? What do you think about the range? It is starting from here and it is going here. So it will start from minus infinity to plus infinity. But interesting point is the graph is never going to attain 0. Remember, f of x is 1 by x. Whatever value you want to put, substitute. But it is never going to be 0. It will tends to 0, but it will not be exactly 0. So its range will be all real number except 0. Understood? Understood or not? So in this type of functions, the core point for domain is that denominator should not be 0. Based on this function, if I give you another function, let's say I write here f of x is 1 upon x plus 1. Yes. What will be its domain? So for domain, we will say we have to take all for which the given function is well defined. And in this case, to be defined, x plus 1 cannot be 0. Because if x plus 1 0, again it will be 1 by 0, that is not defined. So x plus 1 is not 0, which means x is not equal to minus 1. So what will be its domain? Its domain will be all possible values of r. Real value r except 1. Understood or any doubt? What do you think about its range? Yes? What do you think about its range? Okay. Could it attain positive value? Will it take positive values for certain input? Yes or no? Yes. Will it take negative values? Except minus 1. So it will take all positive real and will it take 0? Really? Is it possible it will be 0? Let's say it is 0. So 1 will be equals to 0. Is it possible? I am asking, is it possible that it will have 0? It will give 0. Its output will be 0. Right? So its output is not 0. Its output is not 0 means range will not have 0, right? And will it attain minus 1? That is also the point. X plus 1 is equals to minus 1. So this will be 1 equals to minus x minus 1. So this will attain minus 2. Yes or no? So it means it can have minus 1. It can have 1 also. But it cannot have 0. So its range will be r minus 0. Yes or no? Yes or no? Another way to say or to calculate range is, let's say y is x plus 1. Convert x in terms of y. So xy plus y is 1 and xy will be 1 minus y. X will be 1 minus y by y. For x belongs to r, y cannot be 0. It means it will attain all possible values except 0. So its range will be r minus 0. Am I right? Yes or no? Let me convert it into a general result. Let's say there is a function which is 1 upon x plus some constant value k. It may be any constant value. What will be the domain? Domain will be r minus k. And what will be its range? It will attain all the possible values except 0. R minus 0. Understood? Any doubt in it? So if you want to solve domain and range questions, you have to be very good at basics. बेसिक फंक्शन जितना स्ट्रॉन्ग होगा डोमेन रेंज कैलकुलेट करना उतना आसान रहेगा. ठीक है, क्योंकि बेसिक फंक्शंस को मिक्सअप करके ही कॉम्प्लिकेटेड फंक्शंस बनाए जाते हैं. अगर आपको बेसिक फंक्शंस का डोमेन रेंज अच्छे से आता है, then remaining part is easy. Understood? Okay, now we will have a topic from general aptitude. General aptitude. Harji. Okay, in general aptitude, last time we have done pipes and systems. Time and work is completely done. Simple confirm. Okay, all the important chapters are completed in general aptitude. Now we are having some simple chapters like HCF and LCM of numbers, square root, cube root, average, surds and indices. इसमें क्या कराऊं, ये सब तो है ये एक लेवल का. LCM and HCF is very easy. पहले पूछ लेता हूँ भाई, HCF और LCM सिखाना है क्या आप लोगों को? ये तो आता ही होगा. यस बताओ, LCM HCF कराना है क्या?
नहीं सर, मत कराइए, कुछ और करा दीजिए।
No, sir.
तो आता ही होगा भाई, बेसिक सा है, इसमें क्या ही करूँ और क्या करूँ अब तुम्हें जो नहीं हुआ है.
सर इंग्लिश।
हाँ भाई बहुत अच्छे, इंग्लिश भी मैं ही पढ़ा दूँ. नहीं आती इंग्लिश मुझे. प्रोबेबिलिटी मैथ्स में हो जाएगा. हाइट एंड डिस्टेंस नहीं होगा उधर, हाइट एंड डिस्टेंस करा देता हूँ. पढ़ते तो हो नहीं, चलेगा, वो सिखा दिया. तुम लोगों ने मुझे निर्मला सीतारमन समझा क्या? जीएसटी सिखाओ. एवरेज आता, एवरेज तो बहुत सिंपल सा है, एवरेज ही पढ़ा देता
सर
है ना.
क्लॉक
सिंपल सा.
सर क्लॉक एंड कैलेंडर।
यस, क्लॉक एंड.
सर क्लॉक एंड कैलेंडर।
एक मिनट, हाँ मैं देख लेता
Sir, more questions on pipe and systems.
हूँ. क्वेश्चंस ऑन पाइप एंड सिस्टम करा था. Let's have some questions on pipes and systems, then we will discuss the next topic. Question is, An electric pump can fill a tank in 3 hours. Can fill a tank in 3 hours. Because of a leak in the tank, it took 3.5 hours to fill the tank. Okay. 3.5 hours to fill when there is a leak in the tank. If the tank is full, how much time will the leak take to empty it? Okay. So the question is, there are two pipes. One pipe can fill the tank in 3 hours. And there is another pipe which is here leakage. And from that pipe, water will be coming outside. Now we want to find out in how much time it will take to empty it if the tank is fulfilled. For that, we have to get information about what is the rate of flow of water in the leakage. And for that, we will convert this information into 1 hour first. So, work done by leakage in 1 hour. This will be work done to fill the tank, means the part of tank that is filled in 1 hour. So if it is taking 3 hours to complete it, for 1 hour it will be 1 by 3. So in 1 hour, 1/3 part of the tank will be filled. Yes. And from this 1/3, 3.5 hours are taken to fill the tank if leakage is working. So if there is a leakage, some of the work will be done by it. 3.5 hours will be how much? 3.5 will be 7 by 2 hours, right? So how much work will be done by the leakage in 1 hour? The part of the tank that is filled is 1/3.
2 by
And in
7.
this case, yes, 2 by 7, right? 1 by 7 is for 1, and 1 hour will be 1 by 7 by 2, that is 2 by 7. So 1/3 minus 2 by 7 will be equal to the work done by leakage. Are you getting it? This will be how much?
1 by
21. 7 minus 6. This will be 1 by 21. So 1 by 21 part is done in 1 hour. One part will be done in 1 upon 1 by 21, that is 21. It means if the tank is completely filled, leakage will take 21 hours to empty it. Are you getting it or any doubt?
सर एक बार रिपीट कर दो आप.
Okay. The question is, if a pipe is working, it will fill the tank in 3 hours. But there is a leakage in the tank, due to which 3.5 hours will be taken to fill the tank completely. And we want to know in how much time leakage will empty the tank. So for that, we will try to understand how the work is completed here. So there are two pipes working together. One pipe can fill the tank in 3 hours, which means if you will look at the work for 1 hour, this will be 1/3, 1 by 3. And in second case, if leakage is also working, it will take 7 by 2 hours to completely fill it. So in 1 hour, there will be 2 by 7 part of the work done, which means 1 by 3 minus 2 by 7 is the work which will be done by the leakage, right? If 2 by 7 is not there, then it will be completed in 3 hours. That is 1 by 3. If leakage is there, due to which some of the liquid will be coming out. So we want to know in 1 hour how much work is done by the leakage. If you are getting confused here, you can take it in different direction also. Let's say this is pipe A, this is pipe B. Pipe A can fill the tank in 3 hours. Pipe B is emptying it. So let's say it takes X hours to completely empty it. Now, if you will club these information for 1 hour, this will be 1 by 3 and this will be 1 by X. And work done by both of the pipes. 1/3 minus 1 by X. This will be equals to how much? This will be equals to this time or work done in 1 hour. That is 2 by 7. That is how much? 2 by 7, right? So 1 by X will be what? 1 by 3 minus 2 by 7. And now you will get again what? You will get again what? 1 by 21. So X will be what? 21. You can also say, right? So whichever way you like. Understood or any doubt? ये second method समझा क्या? पहला method थोड़ा तो confusing है.
Yes, sir, I got it. Sir, 21 hour is time to fill the tank.
No, 21 hours is the time to empty it by the leakage.
Okay, sir.
Next question is, if two pipes are working together, pipe A and pipe B, simultaneously, the reservoir will be filled in 12 hours. So total time taken is 12 hours to fill the reservoir. The second pipe fills the tank in 10 hours faster than the first. So if first tank takes X hours, second tank will take how much time? Question is, second pipe fills the tank 10 hours faster. So if A is taking X unit time, B will take either X minus 10 time or X plus 10 time. If I will take X plus 10 for B, A will be the second one because A will fill it fast. Now the question is, how many hours does it take the second pipe to fill the tank? Okay. So let's say pipe A take XR and this will take X plus 10. For 1 hour, this will be 1 by X, this will be 1 by X plus 10. And if they both are working together, this will be 1 by 12. Am I right? Yes or no? 1 by X plus 1 by X plus 10 will be 1 by 12, which means work,
Yes, sir.
1 hour work done by A plus 1 hour work done by B will be 1 hour work done by both of them, 1 by 12. Are you getting it or any doubt? Yes or no?
So
Yes,
can you
sir.
explain once again? Like I am not getting it right.
Okay, so the question is, there are two pipes. If they work together, total time taken will be 12 hours. Which means 1 hour work done by A plus B will be 112. Understood? Now the condition is one pipe is faster than another pipe.
Okay.
and the faster pipe is 10 hours faster.
Yeah.
Which means if pipe B take X plus 10 hours, then pipe A is faster than B and it will take 10 hours less. So it will take X hours.
Okay.
Now the question is A take XR, B take X plus 10 unit time. So 1 hour work done for A will be 1 by X. 1 hour work done for B will be 1 by X plus 10. And if you will add total work done by A and B in 1 hour will be 1 by 12. Understood?
Yes, yes, yeah. I was confused with how x can turn to 1 by x. That was the doubt.
Now if we will simplify it, this will be X plus 10 plus X divided by X into X plus 10. That is 1 by 12. So this will be 2X plus 10 divided by X square plus 10X, which is 1 by 12. On cross multiplication, you will get X square plus 10X is equals to 24X plus 120. But you need not to solve this much if options are there. You can just substitute the value of X from the option and you will just check which option satisfy the condition. So this will be how much? X square plus 10X minus 24X means minus 14X plus 120 will be equals to 0 minus, sorry. So what will be the factors of 120? So that we get minus 14, 20 and 6. So this will be X square minus 20X plus 6X minus 120 equals to 0. X minus 20 plus 6, X minus 20 is equals to 0. So X plus 6, X minus 20 equals to 0. X is either minus 6 or X is plus 20. What is X here? X is the time taken. Could it be negative? No. So X equals to minus 6 is not the possible value. So the correct answer will be 20. So tank pipe A will take 20 hours and pipe B will take 30 hours. So faster tank, which is A, will take 20 hours to fill the tank. Understood?
Yes, sir, understood.
Next question is,
Hello, sir.
yes,
Sir, when the pipe start to fill the tank together, then we have to add the both.
yes, we have to add 1 hour's work of both the pipes, pipe A and pipe B.
Okay, sir.
Question is, a tank is fitted with two inlet pipes A and B and outlet pipe C. So let's say this is a tank and it is connected with two inlet pipes A and B and one outlet pipe C. A is twice as efficient as B, which in turn is twice as efficient as C. The empty tank gets filled in 16 hours when all the three pipes are opened. How many hours will be taken to fill the empty tank if B is plugged and the other two pipes are open? Interesting question. Okay. A is twice as efficient as B, which in turn is twice as efficient as C, which means if A is taking XR, B will take 2 XRs because is more efficient than B. And efficiency is given. Efficiency is twice. So B will take 2x. Now in B and C, B is more efficient than C, which means C will take more time than B. So if B is taking 2x time, what will be the time taken by C? If the efficiency is again twice, this will be 4x. 1 hour work done by A will be 1 by x. 1 hour work done by B 1 by 2x. And 1 hour work done by C 1 by 4x. Such type of questions, time and work, pipe and systems will be done by 1 hour work. Now we can connect to the question. Question is, the empty tank gets filled in 16 hours when all the three pipes are opened. So if we are opening all the three pipes, 1 by x work will be done by A, 1 by 2x work will be done by B. This will be the filling of tank. This much tank will be filled. But C is not filling the tank. C is taking water outside of the tank. So this will be minus 1 by 4x. And the empty tank gets filled in 16 hours. So 1 hour will give 1 by 16 work done. Are you getting it? Yes or no? Okay. Let's make denominator same. Multiply here by 2. Multiply here by 4. So in denominator, we will have overall 4x. This will be 4 plus 2 minus 1 is equals to 1 by 16. So this will be how much? 4 plus 2, 8 minus 1, 7 by 4x equals to 1 by 16. Yes. 4 plus 2 minus 1. Sorry, 5 I1. Yes, 5 I1. So this will be how much? This will be 4x is equals to 16 into 5. And x will be 16 into 5 divided by 4. 4 4 just 16. X will be 20 hours. So A will take 20 hours. B will take 40 hours. C will take 80 hours. Yes. And the question is, how many hours will be taken to fill the tank if B is plugged and the other two pipes are opened? So if pipe B is plugged, it means pipe B is not working. Pipe A and pipe C are only working. So calculate the 1 hour's work of A and C. So in 1 hour, A will do 1 by 20. And in 1 hour, C will empty the tank by 1 by 80 unit. So this will be 4 by 80 minus 1 by 80. That is 3 by 80. And time taken to empty will be 80 by 3 because this is accordingly 1 hour's work. So this will be how much? This will be 26 and 2 by 3 hours. Are you getting it? This is not a good way to be in a class with some person who is extremely talented, generous, kind, humble, passionate. नालायक को शर्म कर लो. बार बार तुम्हें एक बात समझानी पड़ती. ये क्वेश्चन समझा भाई या कोई डाउट है? एनी डाउट इन इट?
Understood,
ओके.
sir.
Question is, In 1 minute, 3/7 of a bucket is filled. The rest of the bucket can be filled. The rest of the bucket can be filled in what time? Options are 7/3 minutes. Option B, 7/4 minutes. Option C, 4/3 minutes. Option D, none of these. Which option is correct? Which option is correct? According to the question, 3/7 part of the bucket is filled in 1 minute. So you can connect time with the part of the bucket. 3/7 part is filled in 1 minute. One part will be filled in how much time? 1/3/7. That is 3/7/3 minutes. So correct answer will be A option. Understood? Another question is, the petrol tank of an automobile can hold G liters if A liters was removed when the tank was full. What part of tank, what part of tank, what part of the full tank, what part of the full tank is removed? Option A, G minus A. Option B, G by A. Option C, A by G. Option D, G minus A by A. Option E, G minus A by G. क्या होना चाहिए इसका आंसर बताएं? Yes. Question is, what part of the full tank is removed?
Sir,
So
option
this will
E.
be part of the full tank removed will be removed divided by total. What is the removed part? A. Total part is G. So the part of the full tank that is removed is A by G. Understood? Understood or any doubt? Last question is simple question. Two pipes A and B can fill a tank in 20 and 30 minutes respectively. This is A, this is B. A takes 20 unit time, B takes 30 minutes. If both the pipes are used together, how long will it take to fill the tank? So 1 minute time of A will be 1 by 20, 1 minute time of B will be 1 by 30, and how much part will be filled in 1 minute? So in 1 minute, 1 by 20 is filled by A plus 1 by 30 is filled by B. So this will be how much? Multiply by 3, multiply by 2, 5 by 60. So 1 minute will fill the tank 1 by 12 part. If 1 by 12th part is filled in 1 minute, one complete part will be filled in 1 by 12. That is 12 minutes. So answer will be 12 minutes. Understood? Understood or any doubt?
No, sir.
क्या date है आज? 15th. 15th of April 2025. The one and only one. ये पीडीएफ भेज रहा हूँ भाई, डाउनलोड कर लेंगे चैट बॉक्स से.
हेलो सर.
यस.
सर 12th फिजिक्स में बस उतना ही था सिलेबस में.
दोबारा बोलो भाई, मुझे सुनाई नहीं दिया. फिजिक्स में
सर 12th के फिजिक्स में वही 2-3 चैप्टर करने थे.
नहीं नहीं, और भी चैप्टर कराऊंगा.
ओके सर.
कंप्लीट करेंगे, कंप्लीट करेंगे.
ओके सर.
ये पीडीएफ सेंड किया है, चेक करो, डाउनलोड कर लो. डाउनलोड कर लिया? यस भाई, डाउनलोड कर
Yes,
लिया
sir.
क्या? मैं कैंसिल कर रहा हूँ मीटिंग।